I'm Yuri Schmitke. I'm the executive president of ABREN, the National Association of Wasteland in Brazil.
And what's your reason for the attendance at COP30?
15% of the greenhouse gases now are coming from the waste sector. Most of them in the landfills that have a huge leakage from landfills, even if they have system captures to capture the biogas and convert to biomethane. And the most sustainable practice is what our association defends, using the technology is biodigestion, composting, recycling, and then waste-to-energy facilities to divert waste from landfill and to avoid methane emissions. Because using waste-to-energy facility, of course, it's a burning process of materials, it's a thermal treatment, and generates CO2. But if you consider the CO2 generated in a waste-to-energy and you compare it to the methane leakage that you have in a landfill, a waste-to-energy facility can reduce 8 times more than greenhouse gases. It's information from the fifth report of IPCC. It's very clear that we have to divert waste from landfill. We have the global methane pledges agreement that have a strategy. Last year, another declaration was focused on divert waste from landfill. It's very important using composting, biodigestion, and waste-to-energy facilities. And I'm also the vice president of WTRT, Waste-to-Energy Research and Technology Council, headquarters in Columbia University. We are an NGO that are focused on academia and research to promote sustainability in the waste management sector. And we publish papers. Our new paper that we are publishing in Waste Disposal Journal, the Spring and Nature Journal, it's showing that landfills in Brazil are emitting 3 times more methane than they are in the inventories. And in the Science journal last year and last week have more 2 papers showing the same results in the United States and all around the world, showing that landfill is not sustainable anymore. We need to divert the waste, the organic waste from landfills. It is our reason to be here.
It's quite important.
Quite important, yeah, yes.
So, could you explain what you do, like you're explaining it to a young child whose future we are fighting for?
Yes, our technology, for example, I would say, what's a biodigester? It's a reactor, metals that you put the organic waste inside. You have to fulfill the digester, and then using bacteria and compared to high temperature, about 55 degrees Celsius, we produce methane, and we call biomethane, biogas. And then the biogas comes to the purification process, membranes and washing, that you separate the CO2 from the methane. And you have a pure methane, it's called biomethane, can use in the cars, trucks, vehicles, buses, and in the industry, thermoelectric plants. It's the same molecule compared to natural gas. But what's the reason? We are producing a biological natural gas, but we are reducing the methane emissions. They avoid emissions. That is the reason that we are producing biogas, because we are taking the organic fraction of the waste to produce biomethane. And of course, we can produce biogas and burn the biogas and produce electricity, but biomethane is more sustainable because you can change the diesel from the trucks and the buses and use the biomethane. And you have the thermal treatment. It's a thermoelectric conventional. You have a furnace and the boiler. You burn the waste in a closed furnace. You treat all the emissions, have toxins, furans, NOx, mercury, and that can cause cancer. This substance passes through a high-level filter system, air pollution control, and then the air that comes from the chimney of this plant is more clean than the air of the city. For example, we have 3,000 plants operating all around the world. We have 500 plants in Europe, 1,000 in China. In Korea is more than 200. We have in Japan 1,000 plants operating. United States not so advanced, we have 80 plants. And in Brazil, my country, we have 2 plants under construction. And for big city, waste-to-energy is mandatory. It's the only solution to treat all of the quantity of the waste that you have.
It's a very kind explanation.
Yeah.
Thank you. And why do you consider this work important? And how are we trying to help solve the climate crisis?
Yes, we are here to convince the authorities, the citizens, and the society, the civil society, that waste to energy, and is very important because the only technology that we have now to avoid emissions from landfills. And then you are in an urgent crisis. They have high temperatures going on, and we have catastrophes in the result of this climate change. Now you are talking not only by the mitigation, but you are talking about adaptation, because the problem is there, it's very clear. 4 years ago, the authorities are talking about the climate change, and no one gave credibility to this agenda, but now it's changing. I think that's very urgent to implement the climate change agenda. As an association, we are working for to the sustainability agenda.
So this year, it is said it is the COP of adaptation and implementation, right?
That's right.
So how do you evaluate our progress with this?
I think that we need to have more subsidies to this agenda. The landfill associations are very strong here in Brazil, in the United States, and they are creating a mess using NGOs, giving money to them, like such GEYK, Global Alternative for Incineration. They are spreading fake news and participating in this event and creating some fair debate, because they are not academia, they are not using the science to promote sustainability. They just are working for non-disclosure funds that they receive from this NGO from the United States. Rockefeller are donating to GEYK also. And then have a lack of implementation of those technologies. In the United States, for 20 years, nothing moving forward there also. The landfill association there is very strong. And then we need more transparency about waste management. What is correct, what is not correct, what is sustainable, what is not sustainable. For example, Germany, they divide landfilling in 2005. For 20 years, they are not landfilling anymore. And then the greenhouse gases emissions from the waste sector there reduce a lot. This is a good example of what is sustainable. And China are following the same process. South Korea, they don't have more landfills anymore. In Japan, and I think that's the best practice that you need to learn and to implement in Latin America.
And what would you say is our role as youth in facing climate change?
I think that you are the future.
Yeah.
We need to be more active, to find good arguments and good engagement with the authorities and the society, with the press, television, and to convince the population, the society, what's the best practice in waste management. For example, you guys live in South Korea, and you can make cooperations, university cooperations.
Here's the last question. Please share a take-home message for young activists like us.
The message is the climate change is not only about mitigation, it's adaptation, because we have facing a huge problem. It's difficult to say let's stop to emit CO2 from fossil fuels. We need to protect the economy also, not only the environment. We need a balance, and not so strong in the arguments, in the activism. We need to work with good solutions, sustainable solutions that promote the economic growing. And the waste sector is a good example, because what's waste? It's what we don't need. Our future must be without waste in our world.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.